989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hogs.
For years, Mosquito Joe has been the go-to service for mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas all across Arkansas. Making outside fun again for Arkansans is our passion. But over the past few years, there's been an increasing problem outside.
Fire ants.
Bingo. They're everywhere now. And if you've ever gotten to a pile of them, and I'm sure you have, you immediately know.
Outside is not fun.
Yep. That's why Mosquito Joe is now providing fire ant control. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Honestly, here's what happened. I said a lot of nice things about you. We gave you every pass in the book, and we let everybody know that when you came back, we were going to give you all kinds of hell.
Well, that's what I would expect. That's what true friends do. They give you guff to your face and then say nice things about you behind your back.
That's right.
That's what friends do.
That's,
you know.
That's really nice, Chuck.
Now that you've said it, I guess we're friends.
Now let's not get carried away.
Oh, this is a big day.
Let's not get carried away.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
You know, when we got done with our stream last night, I studied a little bit more on the bracket. I don't think there's a 10 seed out there, and I know there's only 4 of them, but I don't think there's a 10 seed out there that's got a better deal. And I say that respectfully to Kansas and St. John's and Omaha, but I mean, if New Mexico wins, they got to play Michigan State. If Vanderbilt wins, they got to play Alabama. If Utah State wins, they got to play Tennessee. That's what I was worried about, was that we were going to have to play one of those top 4 SEC teams in the second round.
I just can't get past you starting the show with, when we ended our stream last night.
Yeah, well,
we did. We went wild.
Almost 45 minutes.
Oh,
45 minutes of live streaming.
Every bit of 45 minutes. If you missed it, I don't know where you were or what you were doing, but we were on top of this deal. When the bracket came out, we were there.
Instant reaction
to the Hogs being a 10 seed playing Kansas, who's a 7 seed. And you're feeling better. You slept on it. You're feeling even better than you did yesterday when they announced the bracket.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully to any of these teams. They're all good. Everybody's good at this point. But that was my thought was, if Arkansas is a 10 seed, they're going to have to play Alabama in the second round, or they're going to have to play Tennessee in the second round. And those teams, as we saw over the weekend, are really, really good. Now, Arkansas is good too. But with all due respect to St. John's, I think Alabama and Tennessee are both better.
John Calipari, talk to the media.
We're in. Anybody looking at this saying we may not get in. But I'm saying they were taking teams that we had beaten, and they were like, you start looking around like everybody was so confident we were in. I'm like, hey. But the whole point was get in. Hard road. It may be the hardest. But so what? We're in.
I don't know if it's the hardest, but there's no easy road.
Well, it was not an easy road to get there, that's for sure. And, we've talked about this before. The season is so long. The idea that you are going to be a consistent product for 4 or 5 months, maybe a handful of teams are able to do that. But for most teams, it's an up and down road. And there are going to be points where it seems like we're not going to get out of here. And then there are other points where it's like, man, this is about as good as it could get. And, of course, you're not right on either one of them. But that's just what happens when you play a long season. But, hey, they came through it all. They're standing. They've got a chance. And let's go play.
How about the matchup? You got 2 Hall of Famers and Self and Calipari and Patino waiting on them potentially.
You consider that Calipari's beaten Self in a national championship game. Self's beaten Calipari in a national championship game. They're meeting in the first round. This is really, if you look at it closely, this pod is about Pitino. He coached at Providence. It's where he coached Billy Donovan. He coached in this arena for the Friars. So this is set up to be for him. And Kansas and Arkansas and Omaha all try to ruin the party.
The Pitino Invitational.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but this is going to be, he's going to cry. He's going to talk about all those moments. And, I mean, he just is. He's Pitino. He is. He's the king of drama. I mean, he's going to do it. You know he is. And
it's the battle of the Vice TV shows.
Oh, my gosh. I hadn't thought about that, but that's exactly right.
Yeah.
The Vice Regional.
Cal Show
That's
comes out
exactly
on Mondays.
right. That's awesome. It's the Vice Regional.
Cal Show comes out on Mondays. Patino's comes out on Tuesdays.
Dueling shows.
I want to see. I'm just stuck on, like, who gets the better reservation at the Italian restaurant. Which one in Providence are they going to? Who's got the back corner? Who comes in and finds out the other one got there 15 minutes ago?
Hey, I'll tell you what, you better watch out or you'll walk in there after battling for the best table and Will Wade will already be sitting there. I mean, you better watch out because that's kind of how it'll work up there in Providence.
Will Wade
McNeese is up there.
He is sneaky like that. I mean, he just shows up. He keeps showing up. He keeps showing up. Will Wade just keeps showing up. He's just gone off at McNeese State, and he'll be in Power College basketball next year, probably at NC State. Who knows? But we digress, man. This is it. Arkansas's in, and Matt Zimmerman can't wait.
I can't wait for this game. I cannot wait for this game. I can't wait for this game. I'm ready for this game right now.
Its bags are packed.
What was that from, Bart?
That was from an episode of the Razorback Daily we did one of the years. I think it was when the Hogs were in San Francisco, and Z was just really, really excited about to play. Whoever it was it Kansas that year? Was that
Kansas in Des Moines? I think.
It was one of those, or Gonzaga. Maybe it was Gonzaga.
Together. Gonzaga,
it was one of those games against the top seed that under Must that and Z was fired up.
How do you feel, Bart? Now that you slept on it,
I feel great. Like if you're a Razorback fan, how can you not be excited about Arkansas's draw? Like this is a dream scenario as best it can be when you're a lower seed in the NCAA tournament. You play a Kansas team that I know the game didn't count and neither team was at full strength, but you play a Kansas team that you've seen this year, that you've beaten this year, and that frankly has not been great down the stretch of the season. And then you get a St. John's team, which is a really good team, coached by one of the greats to ever do it, but truly hasn't been tested a lot this year because the Big East hasn't been that good. Meanwhile, if you're Arkansas, you've been tested every single week in the SEC, and you're ready for anything. You are not going to play a team that is better than most of the teams you played each and every week until you get to potentially the Elite Eight. And that's crazy.
6:09 Monday morning. We're reacting to Arkansas being in the NCAA tournament field comfortably. Comfortably meaning they weren't one of the last teams in. They're a 10 seed playing Kansas, a 7 seed. And in the middle of it all, Cal announcing that his best player is back.
I think we'll play him in a way he's most comfortable playing so he could be aggressive and loose and free and not have all the stuff on his shoulders. And I told him, you just got to be aggressive and play. You know how we're playing. We're playing fast. At times we're grinding it. You know, you're watching, you're here, so.
That's Cal on Boogie Flan, returning with his 15 points and however many assists.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see how many minutes he plays. You know, there's being in shape and then there's being in game shape. So I don't know. I do know this, and we discussed this last night, and we've discussed it before, that one of the things that's plagued this team at times has been the 3, 4, 5-minute stretches where they can't get a basket. Boogie's your stopper. I'll draw a baseball analogy. You're on a 3-game losing streak. You got to have a stopper. You got to have a guy you throw out there and stops that streak. You have to have the same thing in basketball. If you've had 3 or 4 possessions in a row where you've not scored or you've turned it over, you got to stop it. And Boogie's another option there, and he's a really good option in that situation.
If you missed it, like if you haven't seen this part of it yet, the game's at 6:10.
6:10 CBS, baby.
Thursday night.
The Big Eye.
You like that?
I do.
Hogs are a
Prime
4.5 point underdog. They opened at 5.5 point underdog. Oaklawn Sports app, keep an eye on it. It's probably going to fluctuate some more. You know, I've been around for a long time. We don't need to talk about how long. Watching Arkansas go to NCAA tournaments, and you know, so many times they go into a tournament, maybe in that 8-9 seed game, and you just don't really know what to expect. And I'm not saying you know exactly what to expect, but to Bart's point earlier, for whatever reason, you just I don't know. I feel pretty good about this team. Like I don't like the fact that they're a 10 seed. Not at any point during this build up to Selection Sunday or the announcement coming, there wasn't any point where I felt like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know if this team can win any games. I don't know what's going to happen because this team, we look at this team as up and down. Are they really that up and down? Because if you get away from Arkansas and you watch other teams play, like just take the semifinals of the SEC tournament, take the championship game of the SEC tournament. If you watched any of that, these are teams that people have picked to go to the Final Four and win it all. And they have the same kind of stretches that you see Arkansas have, where all of a sudden they turn it over on 3 straight possessions, or they can't hit a bucket. And you forget Arkansas is not the only team out there doing that. And I think sometimes we look at the Razorbacks as if they're just helter-skelter and a little bit of a mess, and maybe they'll be just good enough today. But at some point, how do we identify – I'll ask the question, how do we identify who this team really is? Do we have that feeling? Do we know? Boogie throws a little bit of a change up in there now. Like, what does that mean? How does it help? And we'll see how it plays out. But I don't look at this as like some 10-7 game and wonder if I expect Arkansas to win. I expect Arkansas to win the game. They might not. But I don't go into it thinking like, man, I still know. Ooh. How do you guys feel?
Look at the bracket. I mean, to me, you know, you can talk about lots of things in relation to teams right now. It is about draw in part. It's about winning the next game. Period. End of story. No matter what you did a week ago or 2 weeks ago. We talked about the pod Arkansas is in. All right, this is the pod. Let's say Arkansas were to win their first game and then they were to beat St. John's and they were to get to the Sweet 16. This is the pool of teams that their opponent would come from. Missouri, Drake, Texas Tech, North Carolina, Wilmington. Now, all of them good teams, all of them capable of beating you. But I think when you look at college basketball, I don't know that that's what you think of as being murderer's row. You know, they're all good. Any of them could, I mean, they could get on a run and, you know, get to the Final Four. But I don't know that you look at them and go, man, I don't want any part of that team. Of those 8 teams that I just listed right there, who do you want to play the least today? The Razorbacks. I guarantee you. You'd pull any of those other 7 coaches, any of these 8 coaches, take Calipari out of the mix. Who do you want to play least? I'll bet a bunch of them say the Razorbacks because of the way they're playing right now. My point is that when you get to this tournament, you just go play. You don't know what's going to be out there in front of you. Sometimes you get a break. We're assuming St. John's is going to beat Omaha. I doubt they're assuming it. Now, we may be thinking Arkansas is going to beat Kansas, and Kansas is thinking the same thing about Arkansas. So that's just kind of where you are right now. Contrast that with the other 3 10 seeds or any of the 8 and 9s. I remember how I used to feel when Arkansas would be a 9 seed, and it seemed like every year North Carolina was waiting out there for them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're going to win that first-round game, and then you got to play the game of your life.
A really good North Carolina.
Just to have a chance.
Not this year's North Carolina.
So my point is, when I look at this, I mean, again, for a 10 seed, I don't know that you could have asked for anything more. And you don't get to ask for much when you're a 10 seed, but I don't think they could have asked for anything more.
Taking your reaction, 877-377-6963. You can text, you can call. We'll get into Bill Self's comments next. Bart's dress for St. Patrick's Day.
I was going to say, I don't know what's going to happen in the NCAA tournament, but I do know you will not encounter a person today more appropriately dressed for St. Patrick's Day than Bart Pullman.
Don't be caught not
No.
looking anywhere near green. You have to have some sort of green today. And Bart has all the green lights. Bart's a walking green light today.
White Nikes, green swoosh, green
That's right.
socks.
These socks are from Ireland, by the way.
Wow.
Actually, from
Olive
Ireland.
pants.
Olive pants, green shirt, olive vest, green and yellow hat with a spare. You know, when he gets tired of wearing that.
I don't know if he's a leprechaun or a John Deere Green mascot
I was thinking
today.
John Deere Green,
yeah.
man.
I mean, it's
Arkansas Tech.
wow.
That'll do.
It looks good. Like you, just kids, parents, I should say. When your kids get up, you got to put some green on them. You can't have them, going to school and having to deal with that today.
I knew Bart would be appropriately dressed.
Bart,
I'm Irish. This is my day.
Can you imagine if Bart had kids, what they'd look like going to school at St. Patrick's Day?
The girls would have green bows. The boys would have green
bow ties. Hey, look, hey,
Damn right they would.
yeah, there you go. The look of the Irish is here today. It's 6:17 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
If I didn't have you and Bart and Edward to lean on, where would I be? And I think about other people that don't have that.
That's what we do. We lift each other up.
Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Superior Siding and Windows have been improving homes in Fort Smith and the River Valley for over 44 years. Whether your need is siding, vinyl windows, doors, or gutters, Superior Siding is the one to call if you want it done right the first time. Call 479-646-7888 for a free estimate. 100% financing is available, and Superior Siding has AAA rating with Better Business Bureau. Superior Siding, your first call, 479-646-7888.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
It's Brad and Stephanie here, owners of Mosquito Joe. Stephanie, lots of people ask us how we ever got involved in Mosquito Joe. Tell them what you told me years ago when we first started.
I said if you figured out a way to keep the mosquitoes out of our yard without coating ourselves and kids with bug spray, then sign me up. And if this works, we have to share this with our friends and neighbors.
To this day, that's the mission of Mosquito Joe. It's our passion to make outside fun again for all Arkansans. Whatever's bugging you outside, we've got the solution.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We got to ham and egg it on this show. You know, sometimes you're going to have it.
Sometimes you're the ham. Sometimes you're the egg.
And, you know, sometimes I'm not going to have it. What does that even mean?
Sometimes you're the hammer. Sometimes you're the nail.
Sometimes you're the windshield.
That's
sometimes
right.
you're the bug.
That's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All you can be on Selection Sunday is picked. You just want to be picked.
Selected.
You want to be. Well, I said Selection Sunday.
Yeah, well, that's
so I
true.
couldn't say
No, you're
all
right.
you want on Selection
you're
Sunday
right.
is to be selected.
That's exactly
Actually,
right.
I mean, I could have.
Hey, it's NCAA tournament time. If you don't think you can win it, then you shouldn't be in it. Let's go to work.
Nolan Richardson.
That's great.
Right off TikTok.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't know where
TikTok.
people come
TikTok
up with
noise.
this stuff, but it's awesome. It's awesome.
TikTok.
That's great. I mean, I didn't know how today was going to start, guys. I last night was going to bed and knew I was going to wake up in the middle of the night with just, you know, the allergy, whatever I've got going on. It's not pretty. A lot of people are dealing with it this time of year. And so I went to the NyQuil and I said, we're going to finish this night off and we're going to wake up. We're going to have a full night's rest. And I kind of violated doctor's warning. I didn't use the cup, you know, didn't measure it, and I just took a little bit of a pull off the NyQuil bottle, and I mean,
I do that.
I'm old enough to know, right? Like,
take a swig.
I've been doing this for years. Like, you know, I mean, it's not my first rodeo, and I did it, and I went, that might have been a little much. And sure enough, when that alarm went off this morning, I was like, yeah, that was a little much.
The NyQuil hangover going.
I mean, I'm like, I do not feel like a team that's in the NCAA tournament. Let's go talk about it.
See, that's the thing about
little-
those things that help
dragger.
you sleep. They put you to sleep,
it hung on a
but
little
it's
bit.
hard to get up, and it's not a piece of cake
I mean,
when
I'm
we
good.
get up to begin with.
I'm good now, but it was that first 10 minutes was like, oh, yikes.
Well, you've recovered.
Oh, well, I mean, it's all the excitement.
Well,
It's just all the excitement of the NCAA tournament. Okay, so here's just a question. Has anybody thought about the Ole Miss game in 2 days?
Can't say that I have.
I mean, remember, you see what I'm saying? Do you understand my point?
I do.
Like, who cares? Who cares about the Ole Miss game now? And the only reason I thought of it, I was typing some notes out today for the show, and I went back to my computer, and when I popped up my Word document, it was last week, and it was recapping some of the Ole Miss stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, they lost that game at the end. It came home, and some people were upset, and we were talking about whether it really mattered. It didn't matter at all. Doesn't have any impact on your season whatsoever.
You know, I was struck last night, and we talked about this on our stream last night, that it reminded me of watching the old NCAA baseball selection shows when you knew there were going to be double-digit SEC teams in, but you always wondered if there were those last 2 or 3 were going to get in. You know, we wondered, would there be 13 or 14 SEC teams get in this tournament? And 13 or 14, the 14th was iffy. Everybody else was solid on Selection Day. There were 13 solid picks, solidly in, out of the SEC. Oklahoma's a 9. I mean, Georgia's a 9.
6-12.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
We went into the conference tournament thinking Oklahoma had to absolutely win a first-round game to even be considered. And they were already in. Vanderbilt was listed as one of the last teams in, play-in game. They're a 10 seed. They were as in as we were. Georgia's a 9 seed. I sure didn't see that coming. I mean, I don't think of Georgia as being a 9 seed. I mean, I just really don't. But there they were. And so there for a minute, when I saw Vanderbilt as a 10, I thought, we could be a 9 seed. And then I thought, oh, no.
Yeah, because you don't want that.
I've just seen it too many times before. But the league, all in all, just, I think it exceeded what a lot of people thought it would be, just in where you see some of the bottom part of the bottom half of the league, when you see where those teams are seated. Again, you take Texas out of the equation, everybody was solidly in going into yesterday.
Yeah, it was weird watching all those teams be 9, like Georgia and Oklahoma be a 9 seed, Vanderbilt be a 10, wondering where Arkansas is going to fall. We talked about it on the stream as well yesterday. Like, if you were really scared Arkansas wasn't going to be in the tournament, that was not this show to be watching, because they were one of the last teams called.
Yeah, I mean, right at the end, made you wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but the only good thing about it is when you get to that final segment or that final regional, and they've not called your name, and we knew that Arkansas was either going to be probably a 10 or a 9 by that point. It was easy to figure out at least where they were going to go.
We're getting some text in here. You can call the show, text the show, 877-377-6963. It's St. Patrick's Day. If you don't believe me, watch the stream. When Bart pops up, you'll remember. Hope the kids wear a little green today or whatever. Can you just give me a little quick 20 seconds on St. Patrick's Day? Like, what are we doing here?
Aren't there snakes involved?
What are we doing?
Snakes involved?
Rainbows and unicorns and gold, pots of gold.
What's the story here?
And Irish music. We need a little bit of that today, Ever. We need some people twirling around in Irish pubs. And why aren't we doing the show at an Irish pub in London today, by the way?
You mean in Ireland?
Well,
Yes,
there's a
I
reason
did.
why we're not in London.
I did mean that. I don't know where London came from, but thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's it really started as a religious feast day, a holiday celebrating St. Patrick, obviously, and kind of what he did. He was the really
invented the Lucky Charms.
I thought he drove out the snakes. Isn't there something to that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a dark side. I prefer he brought us Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
The cereal. But I was also in London a minute ago. I literally have no idea where that came from.
It commemorates essentially the arrival of St. Patrick and bringing Christianity to Ireland.
Okay.
That's the backstory to it. Yeah.
Thus
all
the
I hear,
driving out of the snakes.
All I hear is about is Jameson and Guinness. I don't hear about any of that other
become
stuff.
a whole thing. It's become a day celebrating Ireland and all things Irish.
What are we eating today? Some corned beef?
Cabbage.
Cabbage.
Corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Did you make some? Did you bring it in?
No.
Today's a good day to be in New York because you can go any direction, and in a block you'll run into an Irish pub.
Sounds like a great time.
It is.
Edward with the appropriate music over there.
Do some car bombs.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Corned beef and cabbage.
By the way, guys, I probably won't be here tomorrow. I just wanted to go ahead and give you that.
Yeah?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you got a big day. Is this an all-day deal today?
No. Not when it's on a Monday.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
got a
the weekend
feeling.
was for.
I got a feeling I'm going to be getting a text from you later.
I don't think you will.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be, but it won't be about St. Patrick's
I'm in.
Day.
I'm in. Well, no, it's a bit about car bombs.
The drink, folks.
Bart's like,
he said that. I thought, okay.
I got all dressed. Yeah. I got all dressed. Golly. I got dressed up and I got nowhere to go. That's Bart today. We got to get him somewhere. John is in Fayetteville. Hey, John, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. The Hogs are in.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, John.
Hey, Chuck, our family sits right behind you
Ooh.
At the home game.
Uh-huh.
And
where's this
I
going?
said hello to you.
I know who you are.
So you've seen the real Chuck in action.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to be honest. Yesterday, I got real nervous at the end of that selection show. When we were like the last team called, I thought, man, we're not going to make it in.
I never thought that. I've got to admit, I felt really solid going into yesterday.
Well, we look at it a little closer than a lot of people do, and we knew because of the other teams that were in, we thought Arkansas would be in. But if you're sort of a casual observer,
oh yeah, when they make you wait till the end of the show, I mean, there's suspense involved.
You're kind of like, did I miss something here?
Yeah.
Did Jerry Palm have it right the whole time?
Jerry Palm.
He did not.
I got to be honest with you. I love our draw.
I do too.
We can beat Kansas. I mean, I'm not scared of them. Hey, but Chuck, there was a guy that called in last week, I think, that said, what do you hear being so close to the bench and everything? But at the Missouri game, I was sitting there right behind you, and Calipari, Cal, he slammed his fist right at your computer. He was so mad. I don't know if you remember. I thought he was going to break your laptop.
There was one game where one of the Hogs Plus has a thing plugged in, a microphone there, and I think he slapped it about 15 feet down press row one night. Oh, and during the timeout, they had to come back down and hook it up again.
Was it blue? Is it blue?
Yeah.
It's
but
a little
I don't
black,
know if you remember that
battery.
Missouri game when hey Chuck, I don't know if you remember that at the Missouri game, he pounded the desk right at your computer.
Yeah.
Well, lots of things happen down there during the game.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something, John, and I don't know how you're going to take this. Chuck pounds that table a lot harder than Cal does during the broadcast. And it ain't once. Yeah, that's the wrong live read right there. Come on, we got to get it together. We sound like amateurs over here.
Oh, it's funny.
It's tax season. Don't forget that. Right in the middle of all this fun, you got to get your taxes filed. H&R Block. You can walk in or make an appointment. They're going to help you file with confidence and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. 70 years of tax expertise to work for you at H&R Block at 633. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach. I made some good calls today. You sure did. You sure did.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Want to let your voice be heard?
Y'all get me going to work every morning, so I appreciate what you guys do.
Send us a voicemail on the Hit That Line app and speak your truth.
Cheering for the other SEC schools is like cheering for the devil because he's in the Bible.
I mean, I would need a six-pack and a catheter.
Leave us a message for ESPN Arkansas after every Razorback game with our Hit That Line Now app.
You guys are the best. I totally disagree.
Man, hey, them Hogs can't do no wrong, fella.
ESPN Arkansas, more than just sports radio.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
It's Brad and Stephanie here, owners at Mosquito Joe. Stephanie, lots of people ask us how we ever got involved in Mosquito Joe. Tell them what you told me years ago when we first started.
I said if you figured out a way to keep the mosquitoes out of our yard without coating ourselves and kids with bug spray, then sign me up. And if this works, we have to share this with our friends and neighbors.
To this day, that's the mission of Mosquito Joe. It's our passion to make outside fun again for all Arkansans. Whatever's bugging you outside, we've got the solution.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work, and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Have you ever won a raffle? Anybody here won a raffle?
Dang right I have.
Have you really?
Yeah,
What'd you win?
Like a small screen TV or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're just a winner. I mean, Bo's a winner.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We'll get into this, but man, the baseball team's fun to watch.
Ooh, that was
what a series.
It ended right about the time the selection show came on. I had the game on the iPad and the selection show on the television, and man, what a great
Did
comeback.
you feel empowered?
I did feel empowered.
I mean, it does feel good.
I felt like the man.
I got it all. I know exactly what's happening right here. 4 runs in the ninth, down to their last out. 4 runs in the ninth. They end up winning 12-9. They score at the top of the ninth. They didn't hang on to finish it off. Cecil's in Fort Smith as the Hogs are going dancing in Providence to play Kansas. Cecil, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, fellas. Definitely going dancing. And, you know, one thing about college basketball or NBA, you know, you could have, in the NBA, you could have a so-so season, but you make the playoffs, you're in there. College, you making an NCAA is just if you lose the first round, you lose the first round, but you make the tournament. And you know, and it's times that we didn't make the tournament. It was a sad season, but we made the tournament and we had a big turnaround. And I'm happy, man. You know, when I get to the shop, I'll make my bracket either today or tomorrow. And of course, I'm gonna have Arkansas advance, and that's just the way it is, win or lose. And man, it is what it is, man. I think we're going to get in and do better. I mean, do really well. And I think that Boogie is going to make a difference of the team because he can shoot. I think it'll be a different kind of basketball game for us, him being in there and us watching. But he definitely can score, and that'll kind of confuse our opponent. You know, I think we'll beat Kansas again. That's just the way I feel. What about Thero? He's not playing?
No, doesn't look like it.
He's doubtful.
Okay. Well,
officially doubtful.
Well, you know,
but he's not practicing.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
He's still a part of the team. And if he go to the NBA, I'm happy for him because we got Coach Cal, man. He's a great coach. He's an icon, celebrity coach, and he's going to get good players. The time, I don't know how long he's going to be with us, but I'm just here to enjoy the ride, man. I love listening to y'all guys every day. I listen to y'all every single day for years and years. I mean, every car I drive or whatever I do, wherever I'm at, it's on 95.3 all day long, up to 2 p.m. But, man, hey, man, I enjoy y'all. Y'all really get me through the day every day.
Thank you,
Bo.
Cecil.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome, Chuck. I love y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed day.
Appreciate that. Cecil's in a good mood.
You know, one thing that I think we need to think about and mention and we shouldn't lose sight of is Boogie doesn't have to do this. I mean, he's not improving his draft status, I wouldn't think. Boogie could sit this out. Boogie could say, I'm going to wait and play in the NBA. He may just be coming back for one game. Might just be coming back for 2. Could be coming back for 5. Who knows? But the fact that he wants to play with his team again. Look, we've seen situations here and other places have dealt with it too when, you know, guys, you know, they're hurt, seem like they might be able to play, but they're not playing. And we kind of got jaded during the Nick Smith Jr. thing as a fan base. And now whenever we hear about a good player being injured, it's like, well, is he really injured or is he just like, you know, saving himself? Boogie wants to play. He wants to play with these guys. And I think that speaks volumes about who he is.
Just from my seat, what I've seen so far from Cal, this guy does an amazing job of getting individual players to play for each other. And there's no bigger part of coaching. And these guys don't act like they're all about themselves. And every one of them could be. I mean, they all came in with that sort of tag of you're like a franchise type player in college. You're getting paid like that. You have a big future. You're probably going to play professionally. Not probably. All of these guys can play professionally. Whether they all play in the NBA, we'll see. But they can all play professionally. I mean, these guys were sought-after players. And to get all of those guys to, care about their own brand, but also care about the team as much as they care seemingly about their own brand, their own future, and all those things, that is no small task. And that's part of the environment he creates, or at least appears to. I mean, he's been here, one season, and it's not even over yet. But we go back in history and look at all the players that he's coached, and they all seem, with rare exception, to have a great relationship with their head coach. And I give him credit. I give Boogie credit, obviously. But I give Cal credit for creating an environment that allows someone to come and build their own, because that's what basketball is. It's your own personal brand in the NBA. To do that and also be about a team is no easy task.
One of the things that I wonder about, and we'll see the body of work over time, but my sense is Cal does a really good job of identifying good kids that he wants on his team. One thing that I have noticed this year, and I don't say this with any disrespect to any kid Arkansas has had before in basketball or football or whatever, but these guys that are the really sought-after ones, the ones that are on this team that everybody wanted, you can go down the list, there's a lot of them. I don't know that character is the right way to put it, but the way they conduct themselves, it's a cut above what even some of your really good players are. Players we've had. I mean, we've had good players, but these guys on and off the floor are a cut above. And I suspect that we're going to continue to see players signed like that.
Hey, great time to celebrate an occasion with Arkansas getting to the NCAA tournament. There may be an occasion you want to celebrate. You can do it at Blakeman's. You want to mark a milestone. You got something coming up. You want it to be just a little bit different, maybe special. Well, the doors are open to a new era of elegance in their stunningly redesigned showroom. Stop by at Rogers and check it out. Indulge in a handcrafted coffee or a sweet treat, maybe a Prosecco while you're there. Talk some Razorbacks, but celebrate life's milestones. Mark your story. Do it at Blakeman's. Blakeman's, the fine jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. 645. Good morning on St. Patrick's Day.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air, Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Proud to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Oh man, I got revved up.
I know you did. Both of you did.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get revved up on something different than
you
that
guys
segment.
got so fired up, I started sweating. And I wasn't doing anything in that segment.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, let me talk to you about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, before we head back into the program. If you are buying or selling a home, whether it's your first time out or whether you've been doing this for many, many, many years, you want Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, on your side. I can say that from experience. Bo can tell you that from experience. Lots of people can. Because what I do know is this, is when you partner with them the first time, it will not be the last. Because these are people that understand the game inside and out. If you're buying, they know what's there. And if you're selling, they're going to get the price that you want for your home. They've been doing this for a long time. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978. They're in Washington and Benton counties in northwest Arkansas. They've got a great office in Fort Smith. They're in Branson, too. They've got a wide selection of homes, and you can check it out at WeicherGriffin.com.
Auburn, Duke, Houston, Florida are the top seeds in the NCAA tournament. Auburn, the number one overall seed, coming in losing 3 of their last 4 games, and they're the overall top seed in the Big Dance. Surprised, Bart?
No, I mean, their overall body of work over the course of the season.
Big cushion.
They earned it.
Yeah,
they earned it.
They certainly earned it. Look, their resume is better than ever. Anybody else's when you look. Yeah, Duke has this nice record, but when you look at who Duke's played, it's like, okay, whatever.
Here's the thing. Yesterday was about body of work. Going forward, it's about what are you doing today? I mean, nothing else matters at this point is other than do you win the next game? What you've done before, no bearing whatsoever on anything. And you got to remember, too, that, this is a 2 or 3 week process now. You may, teams that didn't play their best this past weekend may kick it into a different gear. Some teams might have played their best already. Who knows? It just matters what you do in this game today, because if you don't win, it's over.
This is the highest seed Cal's had in the NCAA tournament, a 10 seed.
I've always been the underdog until the last 15 years, but I'd always been the underdog. Now, we've taken those teams and gotten high seeds, but even as a high seed, they'd say they'll get upset. I was raised as the underdog, us against everybody. And so it was kind of nice this year to get back to my roots of we're underdogs.
He can sell anything.
Oh, absolutely.
It was nice to be back on the street selling Girl Scout cookies this year, where I came from.
I mean, yes. I mean, there's some irony there for sure.
And you're in the front row listening to them, and a tear drops out of your eye.
Yeah. Hey, the last time they had the worst seed ever for Cal, they ended up playing for the national championship. That year they were seeded 8th at Kentucky. They got to the title game.
Did you hear that, kids? Did you hear that?
It's an omen.
That's that positivity.
Who knows what's going to – hey, they could lose the first game, but so could everybody else. I mean, so could everybody else.
I'd ride that rainbow right into a pot of gold on St. Patrick's Day.
There you go.
By the way, Bart, I'm curious. Where's Florida's odds to win it all? Have they decreased?
Florida is
still a good
plus
bet?
330 now.
But
They're
Duke,
the second
coulda
choice.
got it at
Duke
plus
is plus
700.
320.
Yep, Duke plus 320. They are the favorites. Florida plus 330. Auburn plus 375.
Houston plus 700. Arkansas 90-1 to win it all. What kind of tax implications would that win get you? Oh, who's thinking about that? Well, I am. Ready or not, tax season's here. You got to go with H&R Block if you want to get it done quickly, effectively, and be able to file with confidence. Get the most you can get back. H&R Block. Find one near you. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. It's almost 7 o'clock.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge. Man, can you imagine if we all lived together, if we just walked into the living room at like 6 a.m. and just started talking each other's heads off? There's no good morning. I can't have my first cup of coffee.
Somebody would get shot.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, weather will be quiet, not quite as cool. Our high this afternoon in the low to mid 70s, clear to partly cloudy skies tonight. Overnight lows will drop down in the mid to upper 50s, and then limited sunshine, a high in the upper 60s to low 70s on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
At Mosquito Joe, our passion is making outside fun again. One of the most popular ways of achieving that goal is with a mosquito misting system. Mosquito Joe misting systems can be installed discreetly around your backyard, patio, boat dock, anywhere you're getting bugged.
The really cool thing about Mosquito Joe misting systems is that they mist automatically every day when mosquitoes are most active. And, if I want to, I can operate the system on my phone with a super easy-to-use app.
Mosquito misting systems. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a smart aleck like that.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
You know what? Let's go watch. You and me, let's go watch the game tonight.
Let's don't.
Come on, man.
No.
We can watch the first 3 or 4
I'm going to pass, but that's nice of you to think of it.
Come on, man.
That
sounds like fun.
I declared as friends. Let's not push the envelope. Let's not push the envelope.
I'll tell you what. I'll have a car service pick you up. I'll get you a pitcher of beer. You can have some of it. And then I'll have the car service take you home.
How long do I have to stay?
3 innings, 4 innings.
Nah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
it. The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's start on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy to see you.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Well, we were there watching it yesterday. Did a live stream right after.
Ugh.
Hogs are dancing. They're in quite a pod there with Rick Pitino and Bill Self and John Calipari and Chris Crutchfield, the Omaha head coach, who is a former Razorback assistant. Kansas, a 7 seed, will play Arkansas, the 10 seed, 6:10 Central Time, Thursday night. Oaklawn Sports has it at 4.5 now. It opened at 5.5 in favor of the Jayhawks. St. John's plays Omaha. The winners will play each other. The losers will go home. The SEC put a record 14 teams in the NCAA tournament. Duke is a favorite to win the national title per Oaklawn Sports at plus 320. Florida's plus 330. Auburn's plus 375. Baseball. Vahiva Aloy, a pair of home runs, including the game-winning 3-run blast with 2 outs in the 9th.
Boom.
Finished with a team-high 5 RBI to power number 3 Arkansas, 18-2 on the year now, 2-1 in the SEC, to a come-from-behind 12-9 series-clinching win against the Ole Miss Rebels, right in their backyard in Oxford, Mississippi. Big win for the Razorbacks. Dave Van Horn got his 900th win over the weekend.
For those of you that are new to the league, welcome to the Southeastern Conference baseball right there. So, if ever there was a team win, that was it. We will top this, but this was pretty sweet. So you guys need to learn from this weekend and enjoy this on the way home and enjoy most of the day off tomorrow. And then we got 5 more games next week. It's what you got to do. That's baseball. And, just really proud of the effort, man. I didn't know if we were going to come back and win the game, but I knew that I was really proud of the way you guys played. That was awesome, man. Let's keep it going. We got something special brewing up in the hills of Northwest Arkansas.
Courtesy of Hogs Plus.
Wow. I think Dad knew he was on camera.
That's he's not big on that. He's really not, but he's adapted and he's accepted it.
Hey,
And,
that was a
and
great
we're all
win.
better for it.
That was a great win. You could hear the genuineness in his voice there. I mean, he was fired up. And I'd just like to thank him for ending that game about the time the selection show came on. I got the iPad working with baseball, and I got the big screen going with the selection show. And fortunately, they were able to win that game in a timely fashion. I think the game lasted like 3.5 hours.
Back and forth.
It was a long game.
I mean, it was like,
Well, you said it last night. It was like hitting your way out of a region.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was.
I mean, man, the women's softball team, I thought they played well at times this weekend, but Oklahoma's just too much, man. Number 1 in the country. They ended up sweeping them. But I watched a little bit of that series.
I did too.
And you think you have a hit, and you don't. I mean, they've got like 11 players on defense. Oklahoma does.
Yeah,
I mean, they are everywhere.
They've got a lot.
But I still think the Arkansas softball team's going to have a great year. But number 1, Oklahoma's that for a reason. They've been that for a long time. By the way, an estimated $3.1 billion, Chuck, I know you're wondering, is expected to be bet on this year's NCAA tournament. That was billion.
That
1.3
dwarfs the Super
bill.
Bowl. There's more bet on March Madness than is bet on the Super Bowl.
Roy McIlroy and J.J. Spawn are in a playoff this morning at the Players' Championship. It's a 3-hole aggregate playoff that begins at 8 o'clock Central Time.
Wow.
What a great way to start St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
If Rory wins.
Show up for 3 holes at 8 o'clock.
Very good, Bart. That was very good.
Yeah.
Very well played there. The Irishman.
Good Irish Catholic boy. This is his day right here. He's dressed from head to toe in green. I didn't know if he was doing a John Deere commercial. I'd forgotten it was St. Patrick's Day.
We're talking about Bart now. Bart looks like John Deere green today.
One thing I
John
knew
Deere
was
mascot.
Bart would be properly attired.
There's no
I had
question.
no doubt about that.
And by the way, it's not just St. Patrick's Day. It's any holiday.
lot.
Valentine's
I know,
Day.
I know.
It doesn't matter, man.
I know.
President's Day.
I
He'll
know.
come in here. You think he robbed a bank.
I'm aware of
Patrick,
that.
What's that? Is that a Patrick Swayze movie or Keanu Reeves? What is it? Where the presidents rob banks? They all dress. They put the president masks on and they rob banks. That's what I was just thinking of you showing up on President's
He shows
Day.
up
like
as
that.
Uncle Sam on the 4th of July.
Point Break.
It's just unbelievable.
Point Break. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Point Break.
Thank you. I think that was Ty. Somebody told me in my ear. Ty.
Someone said
Ty.
Point Break.
Ty will be, like getting ready for their show, and out of nowhere he just appears like the voice of God.
I know.
And like, I need more of that in my life. Actually, like, what am I gonna have for lunch? And then boom, right there in my ear. Got it.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was right on. Thank you. Thank you, Ty. That was fantastic. St. Patrick's Day. Cool this morning. Going to be highs in the 70s throughout the state. And it's corned beef and cabbage or whatever your Irish meal is. Maybe Lucky Charms. That's probably going to be me. Lucky Charms and a Jameson. Sounds like a heck of a breakfast.
It's as Irish as it gets right there.
JR's in Shady Grove. We'll get into Boogie. He's back.
Boogie.
Theo is not. We'll get into that coming up. But JR's in Shady Grove. JR, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
How you guys doing this morning?
Hey, JR.
Hey, nothing quite beats a Sunday afternoon planting my potatoes and my onions and listening to the hottie toddies cry.
Oh,
that's a good Sunday afternoon.
They didn't have great crowds. They were okay. But that was not a bomb stadium
a big crowd
type
there yesterday.
atmosphere.
It was cold.
Friday night was big. But anyway, baseball team looks really good as far as hitting goes. And I thought yesterday that our pitcher got kind of shook up there in the front of the game. Big McIntyre came in there and kind of settled things down. But, baseball's baseball, so they just got to keep it up the rest of the season. So y'all have a good week.
Yeah, the pitching, we had Matt Hobbs on. It's our fault. I didn't expect him to pitch well this weekend because we had Hobbs on. And we talked about how great the rotation was and how deep they are. And they used I feel like they used every arm. They were down to their last position outfielder. You know, Thomas got hurt. He ran full-blown into a wall like one of those old blooper films that we see where guys run through the
he was
old
lucky
walls.
he didn't knock himself out.
Dude, I was like, he blew right through that warning track like it wasn't there. And look, they'll figure it out on the mound. But that starting pitching wasn't a great weekend for that. 877-377-6963 if you want to get in here. You can follow us anywhere. Social media at Chuck and Bo Show. You'll be able to see what we're doing or listen to the show there. Watch the show via video. And then on the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell, you can take the show with you anywhere. Boogie Fland is coming back. All right, a lot of questions, and we kind of knew this would happen. And they're fair questions. But the biggest one that I hear is, how is this going to affect the team? The team has, gone on a streak where they flipped it from being 0-5, 1-6 in conference play to making the NCAA tournament and looking a lot better down the stretch than they had early. Well, that coincided with Boogie getting hurt. And people, I think, look at it and wonder what to do with that. Does that mean that, Boogie was so good they were looking and deferring to him? Does it mean that this team just hadn't figured out their roles yet and it was coincidental that they were starting to do that as Boogie went out? Or is Boogie being out, was that a factor to them coming together? So these are the questions that people are asking. It makes sense on some level. Here's Cal last night talking about Boogie.
He had good workouts, and he's going to be able to practice. And they called the doctor, and the doctor said if he thinks he can go, let him get through practice, and I'm good. He wants to play. The greatest piece of it, Boogie saying to me, I don't want to screw them up. I just want to help. And I said, well, you may play 10 to 15 minutes, but so what? He said, I'd be good. And I said, we may need you more. I don't know. But then I grabbed the team and said, it's not really changing anybody's role or what's going on. We just have an eighth man. So instead of having 7, having foul trouble, or having 2 or 3 guys not play well, which is normal stuff, now you have a little bit of breathing room.
What you hope is that Boogie comes back to help, as they just said, as opposed to before where Boogie was the focal point. If Boogie didn't play well, they didn't win. Now he's coming back, and the situation's much, much different. What you do not want to have happen is have a game Thursday where by the end of it you're looking to Boogie to win the game for you the way you did back in December and January. That's what you don't want to have happen. Here's the thing. To me, and I said this in the last hour, I give Boogie full credit on this, and one of the reasons I'm not really worried about it is because Boogie's not coming back for Boogie. I mean, he's going to be a first-round draft pick whether he plays in this tournament or not. He's coming back to help his team, and I think that mindset is important because he's not coming back to save the day, so to speak, or he's not coming back to enhance his own personal brand. He's back to help his teammates, and he's concerned that he doesn't want to screw up what they've got going. So, who knows how it's going to go. But I know this, that when you bring a guy who can score the way he can and share the ball the way he can, you're better. I said this last night, and I'll keep saying it. It was not until the final regular season game that DJ Wagner passed Boogie Fland for total assists this year. I mean, he led the team in assists right up to the 31st game.
And missed how many?
13. So, that tells you about the way he can distribute the basketball. So, these stretches of 3, 4, 5 minutes where they don't score, I'm not saying he's the guy that solves that problem, but he gives you a better chance to stop another team's run, which is going to happen.
Well, let's hear from you on Boogie. And Thero's likely out this week. He's doubtful. There's no indication that he'll play. He's not practicing, so we'll see if Arkansas can advance past the first weekend if he'll get in. But I wouldn't count on that. How do you feel about Boogie coming back? What's your reaction to that? What's your reaction to Arkansas's draw in the NCAA tournament? We'll get your thoughts via text or call 877-377-6963. We're brought to you in part by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. It tastes like Yuengling, but it's a light beer with just 95 calories. Now introducing the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Great on the go, like out on the lake this summer, whatever you're doing. You're walking around by the pool. You can just put the lid right back on there. They've also got the skinny cans available now. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's only 95 calories. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's 7:15. Good morning.
I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Hey, Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey alongside my man, Matt Zimmer.
And it's a great time to be a Razorback.
Embrace the home! Whether it's a touchdown, a slam dunk, or a grand slam.
Big Susie, they were doing all the stuff. I went in there to get something to eat, and they're cheering. I'm like, what is going on here?
We're here with the excitement and insight you crave.
Well, you're giving me goosebumps now, you know.
It's the Razorback Daily from the team at Sport and Store.
That might be our best episode ever.
Available wherever you listen to your podcast each morning.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com. Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
It's not just the flavors that keep you coming back to the House of Webster. It's a tradition. For over 90 years, our family-owned company has been making jams, jellies, salsas, barbecue sauce, and many more treats that make your meals come to life. From the first jar to the last spoonful, you'll taste the quality in every bite. Please visit our gift shop located at 1013 North 2nd Street, downtown Rogers. We want you to sample the great taste of life. Visit us at houseofwebster.com. House of Webster. See you soon.
Delicious jams and jellies.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I've known you for 25 years. I've never seen you hug anybody.
Well, I am a hugger, but just not in this room. Just not here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas and Kansas, Bill Self.
Well, they're a different team, obviously. We will be a different team. Hunter did a suit in that game. A lot probably depends for them on health situation and how those two guys are from a health standpoint. But it's a hard draw, but you deserve a hard draw. I mean, you're a 7 seed. You're going to play a team that's similar to you regardless, and then you're going to have to play a team that's had one of the best years in the country in the second game.
Ooh. There's not that much difference between a 7 and a 10. In modern college basketball, there's not that much difference. Either one of these teams could win the game. But, when I looked at the bracket last night, later on last night, Arkansas could not have asked for a better situation as a 10 seed. Let's be honest. When you're a 10 seed, you're not, you don't get to pick your spot. You're happy to be there. But look at the other 10 seeds. New Mexico's a 10 seed. If they win, if they beat Marquette, they got to play second seeded Michigan State. Vanderbilt's a 10 seed. If they beat St. Mary's, they're going to have to play Alabama. Utah State's a 10 seed. If they win, they're going to have to play Tennessee. My fear in all this was that Arkansas was going to be a 10 seed. I didn't fear that. I figured that. But I was afraid they were going to have to play Tennessee or Alabama in the second round. And I didn't want any part of that. I'm just going to be honest. It's not that you don't want to play them, but not in the second round. That's a Sweet 16 Elite 8 matchup there. So I think all things considered, Arkansas came out pretty well for a 10 seed. That's not to knock Kansas. They're certainly capable of winning the game. They're favored to win the game. St. John's ranked wherever they are, top 10, second seed. Patino's done a great job. I watched them play Creighton Saturday night. I will admit, SEC basketball has been so good that that's pretty much all I've watched. I thought Saturday was the best day in the history of SEC basketball. I watched St. John's and Creighton Saturday night, and it seemed like they were playing in quicksand. Now, it doesn't mean speed and quickness guarantees you a win, but if it does, there's going to be 4 SEC teams in the Final Four, because those games Saturday afternoon were a whole lot different than every other game I watched over the weekend.
You don't have to play an SEC team until the Elite 8 if you're Arkansas and you go on a run. I mean, that's what you're saying. Like we talked about this all year. You're going to be prepared to go into the tournament and play teams because of what you've had to go up against. So with that now and what Chuck just laid out, Bart, where does that leave Arkansas with this draw?
I think it leaves them.
It's St. Patrick's Day. Your pot of gold is waiting on the other end of your microphone.
Yeah. There we go.
I think it leaves them in a good spot. I think that, look, St. John's, all due respect to them, they've had a great season. They have lost 4 games all year, and those 4 games have been lost by a total of 7 points. So they are a really good team. They're also, based on the analytics, the weakest 2 seed. Now, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go in and win the game. Like I said, they're a really good team. But if you could pick your 2 seed, that's who you'd want to pick. Now, you got to get by Kansas first. I think Kansas is actually, looking at Kansas now versus Arkansas now, I think Kansas is a great matchup for the Razorbacks because you have Jonas Adu and Trevin Brazile playing at the level they're playing at. You get Boogie Flan back to help kind of facilitate the offense, make things run a little smoother. I think it's a really good matchup for the Razorbacks considering how poorly Kansas has been playing down the stretch. And as good a player as Hunter Dickinson is, he's not a great defensive player. And so I think Jonas Adu in particular can have another really big game for the Razorbacks against the Jayhawks. And then once you get past that, look, all bets are off once you get past that. Once you win that first game, again, St. John's I think is a good matchup for the Razorbacks. Can you win that game and then get into a situation where you're playing a Texas Tech, a Missouri, a Drake? I mean, look, they've beaten Missouri this year, so they already know they can beat Missouri if they were to somehow make it to the Sweet 16. I don't think they will. I think it'll probably be Texas Tech. But you couldn't have asked for a better draw if you're the Razorbacks.
Now, Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, where we find Bart. Well, why do you like Texas Tech above Missouri? Where all these comments about the SEC and how good the SEC is, and you already got one of them getting knocked out before Arkansas gets to play them.
Yeah.
And I misspoke earlier saying that they likely wouldn't play. They would play an SEC team in the Sweet 16 if Missouri were to beat Texas Tech. But I was so brainwashed into you and this Texas Tech thing that I forgot Missouri was even playing in that game, potentially. But there is a chance that
Missouri's
they could
got to
play
get past Drake,
an SEC team in the Sweet 16 and again in the Elite Eight. But the first two games, they're not playing.
Hey, Missouri's good enough to get on a run.
They are.
Missouri's good enough to get to the Final Four. They are.
They are. I think they got to get past Drake first, and Drake's a pretty good team. I mean, man, if you're looking,
you're going to see an upset. I mean, somebody's going to get upset.
Yeah.
I mean, Yale beat Auburn last year, so
I don't care.
There's going to be an upset.
I mean, Drake did beat Vanderbilt earlier this season, so they have played an SEC team and had success against an SEC.
Missouri
Missouri
will beat them.
This is a bigger question, and maybe we save it for later in the week because you may need to look at it. But like, what SEC team has the worst draw, or which SEC team has the best draw, and where does Arkansas fit in this conversation?
Georgia, and it's not close. It's Georgia.
Toughest?
Yeah, they're a 9 seed. They have to play Gonzaga in their first game.
Then Houston probably.
Ken Pom has Gonzaga as the number 9 team in the country.
I don't believe that.
And they're an 8 seed.
Is that Jerry's brother?
Jerry's brother, Ken. Paul.
And then if they were to somehow beat Gonzaga,
Palm and Palm.
If they were to somehow beat Gonzaga, they would have to play top seed Houston. You can say Oklahoma, but I think Gonzaga is better than UConn. But OU has to play UConn, and then if they were to somehow win that game, they'd have to play Florida. So one of those two teams has the worst draw.
Okay, what about Arkansas? How good is the draw?
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's really good because
among the best of where SEC teams land at Arkansas is among the best draws.
Well, I think when you consider the seed line, yeah. When you consider the fact that they're a 10 seed, like you couldn't have asked for a better draw if you're a 10 seed.
Yeah, we're not talking about like the top seeds, like Florida's draw and all this draw. No, right. I'm just saying if you're looking for a team to advance that, is not in the top 4 seeds of SEC teams, or not the best 4 teams that played on the weekend, for example, in the conference tournament.
I think Ole Miss has an interesting draw. They're going to get a play-in game winner, and then they would potentially play Iowa State in the second round. I think that's a winnable game for them. Chris Beard's proven to be a very good tournament coach. A very good NCAA tournament coach. So it wouldn't shock me to see them in the Sweet 16 and have a shot to go to the Elite Eight coming from their draw as a 6 seed.
Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Get up to $15,000 off right now on all new 25 Chevy Equinox EVs and Blazer EVs. It's truck month, and you can drive away in a 2025 Chevy Silverado with up to $11,500 off. Truck month's not going to last forever. It's a limited time, so get in there and get it checked out. 25 Tahoes, $12,500 in savings. See our friend Chris and Mark and Denver over there. Tell them you were listening to the show. It was St. Patrick's Day. Bart was in all green. And you heard they have a deal for you at Chevy of Fayetteville inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. 877-377-6963. Okay, how do you feel about the draw? How do you feel about where Arkansas is? And if we take a further step back, how do you feel about the season? So here we are, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. We've had all the talking all year, every game, big reactions, overreactions, underreactions, injuries. They're not going to win a game. Are they going to get in the tournament? Now we have the matchup. Now you're into the first round. What are we thinking?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care about a single game Arkansas's played before today. I don't care about the Ole Miss game. I don't care about either South Carolina game. I don't care about being 0-5, 1-6, beating Kentucky. None of that stuff matters now. All that stuff just gets you to where you are. We can talk about body of work, what kind of season they had until we're blue in the face. But all that matters is, do you beat Kansas Thursday? And if you win that game, do you beat either St. John's or Omaha Saturday? That's all that matters. And I think Arkansas has as good a chance to beat Kansas as Kansas has to beat Arkansas. I don't think the exhibition game has anything to do with it. I do think the matchup between the two big guys that didn't play in that game will have a lot to do with the outcome of this game. I do think the Dickinson-Adu matchup has the potential to really be something to watch. I'm anxious to see them jockey for position down low because it's going to be a battle. But I think Arkansas is in a position to win a game in a one-game season, and that's what everything is from now on.
I can't wait for this game. I cannot wait for this game. I can't wait for this game. I'm ready for this game right now.
Matt Zimmerman's fired up. How about you? 877-377-6963. It's 7:30 on St. Patrick's Day. Good morning.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant. Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
No, that's the greatest joys in life is when you get something awesome you don't expect. That's the greatest joys in life.
Like unplanned pregnancies. Those are joys.
That really wasn't what I was. No, I wasn't really going down that.
That's what I was thinking.
What am I going to do with you? Turn his mic off. Just turn his mic off. Just turn it off. I said turn it off. Who's the boss around here? Turn it off.
Weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Let's go.
It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime.
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha.
Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha's tees, flags, bases loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Where's my life gone? I don't understand anything that's happening. There's all this stuff going on around me, and I'm just completely clueless. And that's when I decided I'm going to go to bed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, I came out of the house the other day, and there was a film of just like, it looked like soot or dirt. Like, you know, there were some fires out by the lake, Beaver Lake in northwest Arkansas, because the wind was blowing so hard. And they were able to get it, you know, contained overnight fairly quickly, I guess. But it felt like for a couple of days in northwest Arkansas that we were in this weird haze, like desert storm of just dirt blowing around everywhere, and a lot of allergies involved with that. You know, I just went to Splash Car Wash because I did text Splash, Arkansas to 22322 and got a free car wash. And my ride looks great now. You can do the same thing. Splash, Arkansas. You text Splash, Arkansas to this number, 22322. Splash, Arkansas to 22322. Get a free car wash and get all cleaned up. And we just need Arkansas to not suck in the NCAA tournament as well as those vacuums do at Splash. Because they'll clean it up for you, Chuck.
I know.
I got a clean ride right now.
And it looks good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Now, by the way, total random story here. We have a random giant truck in our parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if somebody ran out of gas and obnoxiously parked.
Yeah.
Like it's not pulled into a space, it's pulled across 3 spaces.
Right. This person needs to be held accountable for their actions.
Is it still out there? Or they come and got it?
It's out there. All 4 doors are open and the hood's up.
Oh.
So
we had a
problem.
Had a situation. Well,
It's
at
a
least
big
they're here
truck.
ever on a Monday morning.
It's a big truck.
Well, there's still no excuse to park
it.
it like that. Let's just be real.
I mean, it's quite intimidating. You know?
I got here this morning. I thought you got a new truck, bro. I was expecting to come in with the lights on.
Yeah, a truck like that's right up Bo's alley.
Yeah.
Pole
Just a little,
up
just
into
a little
the
bigger
seat.
than the last one.
Needed a ladder.
Those pole vaulting skills
Yeah,
went up over the
that's
weekend.
right.
Yeah, he's been working on that. He's got another foot in him.
Bought him a new truck.
Hey, you're like, look at that. Look at that. That pole vaulting experience getting into the vehicle is really something.
Those are big tires.
It is. I'll tell you.
Those are
It's
big
you want to stay in
tires.
shape. Some people want to work out, eat a little bit better. I pole vault into my truck. Kevin and Rogers, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
So did you guys sweat it out when we didn't hear for the first 3 regions? I was like, oh, goodness. I was like, what have they done to us?
What were you thinking?
You know?
What were you thinking was going to happen?
Oh, well, I mean, I was telling my wife, and she shoots basketball. I was like, come on. You got Vanderbilt, in Texas, and all the teams. I mean, you finished 8-10 above those. You know, I was thinking it was going to be Kansas, and, of course, I was relieved and listened to John's press conference last night, one of his longer ones of the season, it seemed like, and it was really good. Regarding the matchup, I kind of, when you get into the 8-9, then 7 and 10, they're just toss-ups. The teams are pretty even.
You're right.
Chuck, I did some investigating last night because me and my wife were discussing. I said, I don't think Dickinson played. Yes, it was an exhibition. And if you look at the box scores, I was able to find it. 2 totally different teams. I mean, I was looking at minutes played and points. Richmond did, he didn't play much. Knox didn't play much. Trevon wasn't who he was. I mean, Nelly played. I think he had 3 or 4 points. It's just a different team. Dickinson is going to be a problem, and you just wonder, and I think these teams kind of mirror each other, what team shows up for Kansas and what team shows up for Arkansas. I really do. And their guards are good. And Chuck and Bo, you know this. The Harris kid's really good. He almost scored 30 in an exhibition in that game. And, Adams was on the team that we beat when they were the number 1 seed when Devo had the big game. So their guards are good. It should be a good matchup. Our bigs will have to, Jonas is playing well, but we'll see what happens. I'll just hang up and listen to your comments, and I enjoy the show.
Thanks,
I try
Kevin.
to call as much as I can.
Have a happy St. Patrick's Day. Let's go to the Chevy of Fayetteville situation room. Bart, tell me about the matchup. I know you've watched Kansas probably more than Chuck and I combined.
Who's better, Adu or Dickinson when they're really on?
Well, Dickinson's an incredibly skilled offensive player. He's got holes in his game defensively. But I think it's a situation where Jonas Adu matches up really well defensively. And I'm not saying you just let him go one-on-one the whole game. Like, you every once in a while bring some help to mix it up. But I don't worry necessarily about that matchup. What I think the key is going to be is how Arkansas's guards do defensively against Kansas's guards. Now, DeJuan Harris is a good player. He hasn't been playing great as of late. Zeke Mayo is the guy. He's their guy. And I think if you can slow down Zeke Mayo and basically force Hunter Dickinson to beat you, then you're going to have a really good chance to win the game. And I think what Arkansas's guards do defensively, how well they play defensively, I think Boogie coming back helps. If nothing else, just giving guys a breather. But like with DJ Wagner and Nelly Davis, Billy Richmond, like those are really good defensive players. And if they can shut down Zeke Mayo or limit him, then they're going to be in a really good position to win the game.
I think the best matchup's Cal and Self.
100%.
You've got Cal's beating Self in a national championship game. Self's beating Cal in a national championship game. They faced off 12 times. Each of them's won 6. And they're playing in the first round. That's an enticing matchup. You look at the bracket. I'm looking at it right now in total. You've got that little Hall of Fame corner down there. You got Cal against Self. You got Patino waiting. Patino coached at Providence. It's where he coached Billy Donovan. So, it's a homecoming of sorts for him. And you're going to play him in that building where he once coached if you win the first round game, very likely. It's not to say Omaha couldn't pull off a stunner, but it's likely you're going to play Patino. So you're either going to have Cal against Patino or Self against Patino. That means you've got a Hall of Fame matchup in the first 2 rounds of that little pod in Providence. So to me, that's and I know the players play. I get that. But a couple of Titans right there.
Yeah. Patino looks pretty good for his age. You noticed that? I wondered if he was on the sweat and the edge, getting all the things, making the rounds to
I'll
be
bet
young.
I'll bet there's a few things running through his body.
Vitality,
yeah, I think so.
Some vitality. Well, we all need that at some point, and there's no shame in it. If you want to feel better, you can keep pounding caffeine or energy drinks, trying to feel better, but it may be a way better long-term solution that you're looking for. And I know I was, and it's worked for me, and it's been great. The Sweatinum Edge, log on to sweatinumcosmetic.com. You can feel better, you can look better, and you can be your old self again. Just take the free evaluation, get the feedback, and see if you want to do something about it. But they'll tell you what can happen that can make you feel and look better. The Sweatinum Edge at sweatinumcosmetic.com. 877-377-6963. 743. It's St. Patrick's Day. Don't forget to wear green. Bart is covering our entire show for all of us.
Yeah.
But he can't go with you today. So you need to take care of yourself. Just a PSA from the Chuck and Bo Show for the luck of the Irish.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about Phil's...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a Flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pascal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPascal.com today to schedule your service. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have
up in the NCAA tournament. I mean, what was the odds of that? So, especially when Arkansas was 0-5. So, outstanding season. For me, everything is gravy after this until we got a 5-point lead with 30 seconds left. Then, you've got to win that game. So, so if things changes as you go, but I'm so proud of this basketball team. And we got a Hall of Fame coach, and he proved his worth this season.
I just thought it was fun yesterday. Excuse me, Sterling, just to watch. And I did not get nervous, just for the record. There was no point in this selection show where I was nervous about Arkansas not getting in. I knew when it was last, they were going to be in that last group. I wasn't worried about it at all. And I think that's what was fun. I mean, I didn't even watch the selection show last year. I didn't even watch it because I knew Arkansas wasn't going to be in it. So it was not a priority for me that day. I just thought I'll look at the bracket later. I mean, we were all front and center yesterday at 5 o'clock. And that was fun. I mean, it's just nice to be in that position. Thanks, Sterling. I appreciate your call. And, Sterling said something there that I think is worthy of going back to. When you say you like the draw, it doesn't necessarily mean you're saying, I guarantee you we're going to beat Kansas. I guarantee you we're going to beat St. John's or Omaha. We're going to get to the Sweet 16. That's not what it means. What it means is when you're a 10 seed, you really are at that point. I mean, you're at the mercy of the selection committee right now, or right there. Because, again, I'll look at the other 10 seeds and the team that they could play in the second round if they win, and the second team wins, or the second seed wins, I'll take all three of those second seeds over St. John's. It doesn't mean I don't think St. John's is good. I do think they're good. But I think those other teams are better. My fear going into this, just to be honest, was that Arkansas would be a 10 seed and they would end up having to play either Tennessee or Alabama in the second round. That's what I was worried about, because I happen to think the national champion comes out of one of those four teams we saw play in the semifinals of the SEC tournament Saturday. Florida's playing the best right now. Now, there have been points in this year where Auburn's been playing the best. But right now, Florida's the best team out there. It does not mean that next weekend they will be, or the weekend after that, or the weekend after that. Right now, they look like the team that if you were going to pick one to win it all, they'd be the one. But it doesn't mean it'll be that way 2 or 3 weeks from now. Alabama's really good when they get rolling. Tennessee's really good when they get rolling. But all it means when you say you're happy with Arkansas's draw is that as a 10 seed, it worked out about as well as it could. Kansas is going to be favored. They're seated higher for a reason. 4.5 points, I guess, is what I see right now. But when you get 7, 8, 9, 10, to me, all those teams are about the same. Arkansas is fully capable of beating Kansas, just like Kansas is fully capable of beating Arkansas. It's going to be a great matchup. More to come. Stay with us. Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
Your boat is a piece of junk.
Yeah, but they don't make them like this anymore.
Your boat is a piece of junk.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville
I want
is
barbecue
second to none.
that's
wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, weather will be quiet, not quite as cool or high this afternoon. In the low to mid 70s, clear to partly cloudy skies tonight. Overnight lows will drop down in the mid to upper 50s, and then limited sunshine, a high in the upper 60s to low 70s on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jazzco?
We do food trucks, cars. We do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jazzco. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
It's your favorite time of year, March Madness, and the #1 place to get all your alcohol this basketball postseason is Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Located at 9390 Rogers Avenue, Eastside Liquor has everything you need. Dave Bushko and his team have all your beer, seltzers, wine, liquor, and more. Eastside Liquor, they always come up clutch in the postseason.
Arkansas wins the national championship!
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Hey everybody.
buddy. This is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
No, I did not get anything done after the game yesterday.
Well, that's perfect then. That's perfect for you.
It wasn't bad.
I don't do well with that. Like when it's nice outside, it's hard to kind of be too relaxing inside, especially this time of year. I got to get outside.
I could not live.
I had to get outside.
I could not live.
Well, thankfully you don't have to. You're not the only one that feels that way.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
You know, this is not the first time that the Razorbacks have gone to Providence for a basketball game. They played the Friars in the NIT in 2019 in the very same building. It was the Dunkin' Donuts Center back then. Now it's some kind of, mutual funds, Amica Mutual, something, I don't know. The building was built in 1972. It's an old arena, and it's been refurbished a time or two. But
Amica Mutual Pavilion.
Yeah, Pavilion's in there now. This is the building where Rick Pitino coached Providence back in the day when a young guard named Billy Donovan was their star. I think they made it to the Final Four, if I'm not mistaken, way back when. But Hogs getting ready to go. They'll travel tomorrow. They'll play Thursday, 6:10 on CBS, prime time and the main network for the Razorbacks in Kansas, Hall of Fame matchup. Bo's running an errand. He'll be back in just a few minutes, a very important errand, which has required him to step away for a moment. So he'll be back in just a few minutes. Obviously, the bracket, the Hogs, Kansas, what's to come over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Boogie Flan's back. It doesn't look like Adu Thero's going to play this weekend, but Boogie is. What does it mean? Baseball Razorbacks came from behind, beat Ole Miss yesterday. Heck of a ball game. In fact, I was doing what I suspect many of you were doing, watching the game, hoping that it would be done by 5 o'clock so I could switch the main big screen over to the selection show. But it didn't happen that way. So I had to end up watching the baseball game on the iPad and the selection show on the big screen. But Arkansas came back. They were down to their last out in the ninth inning yesterday at Ole Miss. Ole Miss was up 9-8. Arkansas got the tying run in, and then Vahiva Aloy hit a home run, 3-run shot, opposite field. And Razorbacks won the ball game 12-9. All right, 877-377-6963 is the number. Let's go to Searcy. David's on the line. David, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, Chuck.
What's up, David?
Chuck, I heard all the talk when Boogie went out, and then we saw what started happening to the team, and naturally you're going to have one of your buddies say, well, it goes to show you right there. We're a better team without him. Well, that's not going to wash. It's just not. Now, I understand that going back and looking at the games, Boogie might put up 20, 22, 23 shots. He might put up 20 shots, make 5 or 6. But that doesn't mean he totally hurt the team, because Kobe Bryant used to shoot 25 times. He'd make 7 or 8, and he'd still score 25, 26, 27 points because he got to the free throw line 12 times, 13 times. You can't go by the box score. And he's also one of the best defenders on the team. Now, I do understand that he shot the ball a little bit too much at times, and I think some of the players didn't move and watched Boogie at times. And, that's just my opinion. But I do know that him coming back is going to do nothing but help us. Just for the minutes that he can play, his defense, anybody that would not welcome him back with open arms has got to be a nut, a total nut. And I'm just tickled that he wanted to come back, and it says a lot about his character because a lot of potential number one draft picks would be sitting this one out, buddy. And if you don't believe it, just look around. Thanks a lot, Chuck.
Thank you, David. And to me, that's the overarching part of all this, is that he wants to play. And I don't think it's for individual reasons. I believe it's because he wants to help the team. In fact, we've got that cut where Cal was talking about it yesterday. Can we play that? Can we play the cut where Cal was talking about Boogie coming back and his concerns about whether or not it's going to affect the team?
We'll play him in a way he's most comfortable playing so he could be aggressive and loose and free and not have all the stuff on his shoulders. And I told him, you just got to be aggressive and play. You know how we're playing. We're playing fast. At times we're grinding it. You're watching, you're here, so.
Well, he also said in there the thing that he doesn't want to do is come back and hurt the team. He wants to come back and help the team.
He had good workouts, and he's going to be able to practice. And they called the doctor, and the doctor said if he thinks he can go, let him get through practice, and I'm good. He wants to play. The greatest piece of it, Boogie saying to me, I don't want to screw them up. I just want to help. And I said, well, you may play 10 to 15 minutes, but so what? He said, I'd be good. And I said, we may need you more. I don't know. But then I grabbed the team and said, it's not really changing anybody's role or what's going on. We just have an eighth man.
When Boogie was playing back in December and January and November before that, I'll go back to something David was saying there. There were times when it kind of looked like they were saying, Boogie, go win it for us. Well, he was the youngest guy on the floor in a league dominated by guys who are 23, 24 years old. You're not going to hand the ball to an 18-year-old and say, go win the game for us. That's just not going to happen, not in this league. And I don't care how good he is. But Boogie's coming back, and he's not going to be asked necessarily to win the game. Now, look, they may get late in this Kansas ball game or any game that comes beyond that, and they need him to go get a bucket. But I just think the overall approach is different now, and I think his mindset's key. And the fact that Boogie wants to play, we became as a fan base really desensitized during this Nick Smith Jr. saga because the overriding view among Razorback fans was he could play. He's not playing because he's protecting his health for the NBA. Now, I don't know that was 100% correct, but that was the view, generally speaking, that I think Razorback fans had. It's not that way with Boogie. Boogie's going to be a first-round pick whether he comes back, plays or not. He could come back and go 0 for 8 in that Kansas game, and he's still going to be a first-round pick. He could come back and go 8 for 8 in that Kansas game, and he's still going to be a first-round pick. He's coming back because he wants to help this team. He's coming back because he wants to be part of the solution. Now, defensively, he helps. There's no question about that. The thing that I like about Boogie coming back is what I hope is that these 3, 4, 5 minute stretches that they've been prone to go through without a basket, Boogie's the guy that, you put the ball in his hands and say, go get us a bucket, stop their run. My hope is that maybe he can provide a little bit more than that. The thing that I wonder too, and I'll turn to you a little bit about this, Bart, is that, in our league, Arkansas is not the only team that goes 2, 3, 4 minutes without scoring. I watched Tennessee play and hit a couple of threes in that game with Florida, and then they go like 4 minutes without making a basket. Even the good teams go through this. And the one thing about the NCAA tournament is that you're in a new venue, shooting background's different. Sometimes teams will miss shots. Sometimes going to the boards, going to get the offensive rebounds, your best offense. But I like the fact that Boogie's out there because it gives him some scoring punch, and I don't think they're going to be as prone to these droughts.
I like that Boogie has been with the team in recent weeks and has been on the bench watching the games, has been in the film sessions. Like, what that does as a player is it gives you the perspective of watching the team and knowing where you can help them, knowing where you can go and what you can do on the floor to make things better offensively and defensively. The flow of the offense is going to improve dramatically with a guy like Boogie Fland out there. There's no question about that. A 32% assist rate for Boogie, the highest on the team. By far, DJ Wagner second at about 19%. So, like, the flow of the offense is going to instantly improve. The other thing I'll mention, Chuck, is Boogie has not played with a healthy Jonas Aidoo all year. Like, that just has not happened. Aidoo is finally, healthy and playing his best basketball, some of the best basketball of his career right now. And I think combining him with Boogie Fland opens the door to a whole host of things that John Calipari can do with the Razorback offense.
Who you putting your money on? Arkansas is 90-1 to win the national championship. Duke, plus 320. What that means is if you lay down 100 and Duke wins the whole thing, you win 320. That's what it means.
That's right.
Or if you lay down $1, you win $3.20. Florida, plus 330. Auburn, plus 375. Houston, plus 700. And then you get into, some of the bigger numbers. Alabama and Tennessee, both 16-1. St. John's, 24-1. Kentucky, 60-1. A&M and Missouri, 70-1. Arkansas, 90-1. If you were going to take a flyer, who would you take a flyer on?
Outside of, like, the top three favorites?
Yeah.
Man, Michigan State.
Really? They're your favorite.
I mean, look, I think they've got – they're just really good, and their best player, Jace Richardson, has come into his own, and what they can do on both sides of the ball is just really impressive. It would not surprise me if they made it to the Final Four.
I'll be stunned if the national champion's not from among the top four teams
Absolutely
in the SEC.
agree.
I will be stunned. I watched that Saturday, the semifinals. You will not find two better college basketball games back-to-back. I don't know if quickness and speed and athleticism is the only – well, in fact, I know it's not the only answer. It does not guarantee you winning a national championship. But if it did, there'd be 4 SEC teams in the Final Four. I watched a lot of college basketball over the weekend. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't get a lot done. But I watched a lot of college basketball over the weekend. I'm better versed now in the other college basketball conferences than I was before. In terms of overall athleticism, there is absolutely no comparison. Anybody that thinks that the SEC, that this is just SEC bias, watch the games. Watch the games. It's not bias. I'm not saying 14 deserve to be in, but I'm not going to argue with it either. Hey, if you're having issues with your gutters or the drainage around your home, let us recommend Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated. We like that. Over 30 years of experience. That's even better. They do it all. They make your gutters on site. They do trenching work. They do French drains. They're fully licensed, fully insured. Every job comes with a 20-year warranty. They service all areas of Northwest Arkansas, all areas of the River Valley. Don't wait. I don't know if you've heard, but aluminum prices are going up. That means gutters, fascia, soffit, gutter guards. They're going to cost more, so get your work done now. HogGutters.com. 8:16, this is the Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Evans Body Shop, we take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
They keep us posted at every stage. We get phone calls saying it's going to the paint shop or the parts have come in, and they've always just exceeded everything that we hope to have.
They do absolute fantastic work. Never have any complaints from anybody I know. My family has gone to them, my friends. I refer everybody I know to Evans Body Shop.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hey, Todd Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials.
We do have awesome lunch specials Monday through Friday. We've got any small pizza for $7.99. You can also order a salad with it. Great In-N-Out special for a quick lunch.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I'm glad you brought that up, Chuck, because fortunately...
You upchucked it.
It just came out.
How did you...
Came up.
Well, here, another segment with Upchuck Chuck.
By the way, that's a clever retort. That Upchuck, I've never heard that.
Tell you what, yeah, well, it's the first time since we started this show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You guys pull for other SEC teams now? What do you do? Do you pull for the other conference teams as they play in the tournament? 14 of them out there, league pride. You pulling for them?
Not really.
Who are you pulling for? Troy and Kentucky.
I'm pulling for Troy.
Me too, man. I mean, I'm pulling for Troy like crazy. But, I might pull for Robert Morris against Alabama. Maybe. I'll just have
Bob
to like.
Morris?
I'll have to let the game start, and just kind of let the spirit move me. But
well,
I'll
it is
pull
St.
for
Patrick's Day.
I'll pull for Mississippi State to beat Baylor. I will. I'll pull for Missouri to beat Drake. I will definitely pull for Oklahoma to beat UConn, and I don't know that I've ever pulled for Oklahoma.
You really dislike.
I don't like Dan Hurley.
Dan Hurley.
I am not a Dan Hurley guy.
He's earned that.
I saw a video clip. By the way, Bose just walked back in the studio.
Well, as you said, the spirit was moving you, and
Yeah,
I was waiting to
that's
see
right.
what that looked like.
Yeah.
'Cause I, for one, want to see what that looks like.
That's right. I saw a clip of Dan Hurley and Bobby Hurley, like when they were coaching high school, and Dan Hurley was the high school coach, and Bobby was his assistant. It was like two spoiled brats. I mean, complaining about everything. I mean, I watched this video, and I'm like, these are just two spoiled kids. That's what they are. They're just spoiled kids. And Dan Hurley's still a spoiled kid. So I'm pulling for Oklahoma to beat UConn.
I'm thinking of this characterization, and I'm wondering if that's accurate. Because I don't know that they grew up spoiled.
Entitled. Are you kidding me? Their dad was like the winningest high school coach in their state.
But I think,
of course, they were entitled.
What
kids.
if this is some psychology? What if that they fought their way to and earned their way to a certain point,
whatever.
and then they felt like it should follow them the rest of their life?
Well, you can justify bad behavior in a variety of different ways. But
like if you're Dan Hurley, do you realize you went from being at the top of the mountain and people not really having a reason to not like you other than you're winning to you are the most dislikable coach in all of college basketball?
It's his own fault.
That's what I'm saying. Do you realize that? And do you just – it seems like at some point he decided to double down on it. By the way, there's
Steer into it.
Well, he's the best coach in the game.
There's an
Just ask him.
He told me there's an E60 out on him.
I saw that.
And it's his wife. And his wife just absolutely eviscerates him. It's awesome. She's like one of these Jersey housewives, and she talks like this, and she the stereotypical, maybe you've seen a clip from the show or whatever, and she's like, he is 100% completely useless at the house. This guy can't figure out how to take the trash can down to the end of the driveway.
Every
She said
coach
if
I
he
know is like that.
Doesn't coach basketball, I don't know what to do because he could do nothing here.
I would venture to bet 3 out of every 4 head coaches, college football, college basketball, 3 out of 4, and I may be generous here, are absolutely worthless around the house. They can't do anything. Your commode messes up, call the guy. They had mowed a yard. They hadn't mowed a yard in 15 years.
Yeah.
20. I'm not knocking.
Well,
just for the record, I can't do anything around the house either.
When do you think's the last time Rick Pitino took out the trash?
Yeah, but my point is these guys, I don't think that's uncommon.
Cal's
I don't think
wife-
it's uncommon at all.
Didn't Cal say his wife took a video of him taking the trash out the other night because it was so unusual? Listen. I can't.
Minor repairs,
I can't throw
head
stones.
coaches can't do them.
I can't throw stones. My dad was such a handyman; he could fix anything. He taught me to change my.
But he
own
wasn't a
oil
head coach
in my vehicle. But I'm not either. But I can't do anything like my dad can.
Where's Ellen? How about we give Ellen a hand? How about that? How about that? She's put up with me. She took video of me taking out garbage cans yesterday, or on what Wednesday? What? And I was in shorts and a pullover and slippers. The princess, you could do that when you're a princess, and I'm there footing the bill, I guess.
Yeah, he's paying homage right there.
Yeah, first time he took out the trash in a while.
Well, I can give me something easy like that. Don't ask me to do anything difficult.
Small repairs.
No small repairs.
Fix your lawnmower.
Take manual labor.
Oh.
And then load the dishwasher, but that's not going to be done right. That's so inefficient. I don't know how you stack it like that.
Guys, now, to have someone like your dad, my dad, every dad from back then so rare. We're our producer on our football
Yeah, my kids
broadcast.
are in trouble.
Yeah, well, right. Hey, we got a guy that produces our football broadcast, Lee Francis. You've heard us mention his name. He's like a 50s dad. He can do anything.
Anything.
Fix your car, patch your roof. Your commode's not working right. Flusher's not working right. Fixed in a day.
Right.
Anything you need, he can fix.
I don't know how to get from my parking spot into the gate I need to enter, Lee. How do I get there?
Exactly.
Boom. Done.
And by the way, my mower's not working right. Could you come by after the game and fix it? And
Mr. Reliable.
Small engines, doesn't matter. He
That's
can
what's
do
so
it.
funny about coaches, because they have to fix so many things and problem solve so many things. But if you've ever been in one of these buildings at a high level with what Chuck and I are talking about, here's what happens. Like, people's lives and jobs are threatened if they can't figure it out.
Oh.
Like I need a sticky note, and I need it right now, or Bart, you're never going to
That's
see the
right.
light of day
Your
again.
career's on the line. If you don't have my cleaning here by 8:15, because I got an 8:30 TV deal. If you don't have my cleaning here by 8:15, don't plan on
Dry
being a
cleaning.
defensive coordinator
Right,
later.
dry cleaning.
If
Yeah.
my dog gets out this weekend when you're responsible, your career's over.
That's
And
it.
that's how it works.
That's it. I swear.
There's a scratch on my car when you get back from the car wash.
For
Done.
years, I talked about doing a documentary called "Bring Me My Grapes: How College Coaches Became Kings."
Oh, there's the truth to that. That is so true.
Because it's just the environment, it's the culture
Bring me my
yeah.
grapes.
I mean,
awesome.
you can't. When we did the show on Les Miles when he was at Kansas, that like right after he got the job and all that, I mean, I probably pulled his car around like 3 times for him. I mean,
I believe that.
But we had to film in there, and it was just easier because I'm not sure he knew how to get to his car or get it. You know, it's just easier to pull it around and hop in, and away we went filming. But I didn't know if it was going to happen otherwise.
I find that completely believable. I've just been around it for 30 years. I mean, I know how it works. It's unbelievable.
And Dan Hurley's sitting right at the top.
There's no job in the world where people wait on you like being a head coach at a college team. It's not this way, I don't even think, in the pros. But in college, you are the king.
By the way, I was listening to you, and you sounded great.
Well, thank
I
you.
should do this more often.
You were missed.
I had to get my daughter and take her to school, and it was great to listen to the Chuck and Bo show with just Chuck.
Yeah.
It sounded good.
You had no responsibilities there for about 30 minutes.
Other than to try to have a conversation with her, but she
Well,
wasn't having it, so
yeah.
I was just listening to the show.
Easier to talk to us.
Yeah, easier to listen.
At least you get some reaction from us.
That's right. 8:29. It is the Chuck and Bo show. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo show. Good morning.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes.
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Building warriors.
Physical toughness and physicality matter more now than ever before.
Competing for each other.
You can care about the kids and still win.
Upholding the Hogs standard.
Whatever we do, we'll have good people who are driven and wired, knowing that there's an expectation here and not being afraid of it.
This is one of those Razorback moments.
Follow John Calipari and Arkansas on the hardwood all season long.
Right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
It's your favorite time of year, March Madness, and the #1 place to get all your alcohol this basketball postseason is Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Located at 9390 Rogers Avenue, Eastside Liquor has everything you need. Dave Bushko and his team have all your beer, seltzers, wine, liquor, and more. Eastside Liquor, they always come up clutch in the postseason.
Arkansas wins the national championship! Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Wave Rural Connect is excited to introduce our new 300 megabit internet service. Perfect for streaming, remote work, and homework for just $64.95 a month. Get no worries, cyber safe managed Wi-Fi for a total of $71.95. Order today at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. We're adding new services and expanding our areas for you. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
After a while, you realize that there's certain people you just can't argue with. I mean, you just can't.
Well, I mean, we're all cut, like that.
We're all cut from that cloth.
The best part about an argument is when you're the smart one and whoever's on the other side is clearly not.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, if you're struggling to sleep, Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine can help you out. Dr. Scotty Bolding's been helping people for years. They can't sleep. Maybe they've got a little bit of a jaw deformity. You may not realize that. You have sleep apnea. A lot of this stuff is correctable, and you can look at surgical, proven alternatives that can help you breathe and sleep better. Precedent.com is the website. Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine. Precedent. Precedent.com. You can sleep better and breathe better all day. You know who's unhappy about this Arkansas draw? I just know is unhappy about this Arkansas draw.
Who?
Bill Self.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I had a parent tell me, one of the players on the team, after they lost to Ole Miss, and they saw, us talking about, just get home, boys, get rested, go play in the NCAA tournament. And they're like, absolutely. If you look at it from somebody else's perspective, nobody wants to play Arkansas right now. That doesn't mean they're going to win. That doesn't mean they're going to go to the Sweet 16.
But if you look at it from the other side, which we often struggle to do, would you want to play Arkansas right now? Like if you're Auburn even, if you're Tennessee, do you want to play? Do you go, dang, that's great, let's play Arkansas? Because everybody playing Arkansas has been in an absolute fight for like 6 weeks now. I mean, how does a team go 12 minutes without a bucket and beat you? And I know we're talking about South Carolina, but we've also heard on the other side that South Carolina in another league would have had a much better record. And South Carolina is not as bad as the SEC made them look. But Arkansas has also been in games where they've gone in 3 or 4 minute stretches 2 or 3 times and still figured out a way to either win the game or have a chance to win it right at the end. And you talked about this during the SEC tournament, Chuck, when I said, well, what makes Arkansas an NCAA tournament type team? And you went through that they can withstand stuff like that, overcome droughts in a game, figure out how to play great defense, hustle, and then all of a sudden make some shots.
And I don't think that's going to stop those styles or those types of games where teams go through droughts and things like that. That's not going to stop just because the NCAA tournament's getting underway. There are still going to be games like that where teams have to overcome droughts, and that's just part of it. That's one of the reasons I'm glad Boogie's back, just to kind of reiterate that point. But this team's come through that. Virtually every team that is still standing has gone through something like that this year. Arkansas is not the only team out there with a completely revamped roster from a year ago. They're not the only team out there that struggled to put everything together with a bunch of new guys. That's common in college basketball now. So I think we'll see more of that from teams in the NCAA tournament. Can you fight through it? You golfers, when you have 3 or 4 bad holes in a row, can you get it back before the day's over? It's hard to do. And but the teams that are able to do that are the teams that will win.
But, by the way, we don't have the clip handy, but Billy Horschel, I saw it on social media over the weekend. They interviewed him during a round, and every golfer can relate to this. He said, I have no idea where my ball's going. I have no idea where my swing's gone. I'm just trying to get it to the house and get out of here.
There's some truth to that.
That's the thing about golf. And they're doing they've got the playoff at the Players today with Rory and JJ Spawn because they ran out of light last night. So they got an aggregate 3-hole playoff it's underway now at Ponte Vedra.
Rory has a 2-shot lead heading to 18.
But
to the last
when you're playing golf, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide. It's you. I mean, you can't just take a timeout. I mean, it's
an island.
It is like the ultimate island, and nobody's playing against you, so you can't blame it on that. It's just you and the course. By the way, here's Bill Self.
To me, he's always created, recruited great players and terrific athletes. I think they do a good job coaching them too, and I think they usually guard, and I'm sure they'll do that. And they're battle tested, obviously, going through the grind of the SEC. But yeah, it'll be a fun competitive game. I know we're going to have to play really well to win.
Self might have to write another letter to the fan base after this NCAA tournament appearance. We'll see. But this is not. Isn't it just sort of interesting? And this is what sports will bring you. How different a year or two makes things. We're not far removed from the Big 12 being like everybody talks about the ACC, but the Big 12, great basketball league.
It had a heck of a run.
League.
It had a heck of a run.
Like the Big 12 tournament, yeah. I mean, yeah, you've been around Baylor. I mean, these Kansas Baylor games, Texas Tech, Houston. These are like, and now it's completely flipped. And the way Bill Self's talking about the SEC is the way we were talking about the Big 12 a year ago. And so Arkansas is the team that comes into this game that you feel like's really been through the battles. Do you feel like Kansas has really been through the battles? Like, have they played a schedule that would rival Arkansas's?
It's hard to say. I mean, you look at the ranked teams that Arkansas has played, the answer would be no. By the same token, every conference is difficult. The one thing that Kansas has had to do, and all the teams in the Big 12 have to do, They got to go west now. They got to go play places they've never played before. They're playing in Utah now. They're going to Arizona State. They're playing games that they've not played before. And I think about Kansas's trip out to Utah when was it BYU and Utah beat them back to back. Kansas has been through some things. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I have not watched them as much as maybe a lot of the other teams. The SEC's been so good this year. You know, when you sit down on a Saturday or a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night and you want to watch college basketball, you want to watch the best games. Well, the best games have been in the SEC this year. So, you know, Kansas is – I'm not taking anything away from Kansas. But unless you played in the SEC this year, I'm not sure you know what it was like.
Bart, what do you have in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room?
Kansas has really struggled against better teams this year, especially in conference play. Since the start of December, they have 2 wins against KenPom top 50 teams. Arkansas has 8 in that same time frame. So, like, Arkansas has played a lot better against high-end competition than Kansas has. And now for Kansas, this is a high-end game for them, and they have consistently underperformed in those moments over the course of the season.
What kind of grade, if you sit here today, do you give Arkansas basketball with Calipari year one? Or maybe it's maybe there's a better way to frame it up than what kind of grade. But are you satisfied with? I'm not saying this is the expectation of where you end up, but are you satisfied if you take into consideration everything that happened this year? Are you satisfied before the tournament starts? Because once it starts, depending on what they do, you might have a different answer. But for today, how would you answer?
I'm satisfied right now because they're trending in the right direction at the right time. That would be what I would say. They could have a season, what are they, 20-13? What if they were 25-8, but they lost 3 of 4? How would you feel?
Like Auburn?
Well, Auburn's really good.
Right.
They can overcome that.
That's true.
But my point is, they're playing their best basketball at the right time. Now, is their best I don't know how far their best basketball can take them. I don't know. But I know that there's not been a point this year where I think, generally speaking, we look at them and feel better about their chances than we do now. I don't think there's been a point this year where we felt that way. So I give them a good grade based on the fact that they're trending now in the direction that they need to be with the tournament getting underway this week.
How's John Deere Greenfield?
Yeah, what do you think?
On St. Patty's Day.
I think you have to give Arkansas and Cal a really good grade for what they've done this year. You've lost your 2 best players to injury. And one, obviously, you know, Thero's injury is more recent, but Boogie missed a good chunk of conference play, most of conference play. And you still managed to drag a team of 7 guys to the NCAA tournament and finish with 8 conference wins in the toughest league in college basketball and the toughest the SEC has ever been. That's really impressive to me. Like, I think Cal's done a remarkable job this year. And I know, like, he comes in with the expectations of going to the Sweet 16, the Elite Eights, Final Fours, all that stuff. Maybe Arkansas will still get there this year. But when you just strip everything else away and look at this year,
what they've done so far,
he's done a really, really good job with this team.
You know, he made a comment. I don't know if we have the audio of this. I read it earlier today about how old this league was this year.
Well,
like
you've
all
got
the seniors that are in the
30-year-olds
league
playing for Auburn.
Right.
Well, in Arkansas, how young they are by comparison.
Yeah.
I don't really think of this as being a young team. I mean, they've got some youthful players, but I don't think of them as being young.
Yeah.
But you look around the league, and they are. There's not a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there. I mean, they're just not. And and that's just one of the crosses you bear in conference play right now is you're going against guys that are grown men, gray beards.
We've referenced, Ohio State a few times and why they were able to do what they did in the college football playoff. They kept a lot of their players. They did it with NIL, but they didn't go get players mostly with NIL. They just kept their players from going elsewhere. I feel like the SEC in basketball has been a little bit like that this year. Florida, Auburn, bringing a bunch of guys back.
Well, you bring them back, and then you go get a couple of really good ones from somebody
Right.
else. Ohio State did that in
That's
football.
right.
They got a couple of guys out of the SEC that helped them a lot. And you look at the teams like Auburn and Florida, they'll add pieces here and there. I'm going to tell you, whatever Florida did to get Walter Clayton Jr.,
do it again with somebody else.
Yeah, that guy can play now.
We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank. Bank better, bank friendly, more convenient locations, and all in on Arkansas. That's what you get with First Security Bank. FSbank.com. You can find them online. Member FDIC. First Security Bank is the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. 846. Good Monday morning.
Like, I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pascal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopascal.com today to schedule your service. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
At Mosquito Joe, we're constantly looking for ways to make your outdoor experience better. That's why we always use the latest technology.
Technology?
To get rid of bugs?
Well, most mosquito treatments only eliminate mosquitoes that are around when it's applied. But did you know, at Mosquito Joe, we use products that are microencapsulated, so they continue to work for weeks after our technician leaves your property.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, at Mosquito Joe, we love making outside fun again. Advanced products, top quality service, and all done with a satisfaction guarantee.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're like the college kids, man. If the sun's out, it's 45 degrees, you got shorts on.
I'm all about that.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. I would prefer to never wear pants.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, things that make you go, Yeah, how about that song? Bring that back. Bart, Rory McIlroy, you can't beat him on St. Patrick's Day. We go back to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. The Players' Championship
happening now.
Decided in the moment.
Yeah, and Rory has won. He finished the 3-hole aggregate playoff with a score of 1 over par. J.J. Spaun did not finish. He was so far behind that he just kind of let Rory finish.
How
out
much
on
money
18.
did they make for their troubles?
Rory made like $4.5 million. J.J. Spaun made $2.5 million.
Thank you, Tiger.
Yeah.
Thank you. J.J. Spaun should give half his check to Tiger.
Right?
I mean,
right.
The money's incredible right now, and it all goes back
Really
to
is.
Tiger.
Yeah, he should have equity in the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's ridiculous.
He
like,
should have
what
equity
he did
in
for
the
that tour.
Live Tour, the PGA Tour, any take from any municipal golf course. He should get a cut from.
When they make a golf
he is
ball.
the game.
Equipment sales.
He is the
everything.
game.
When they make a golf ball, part of it goes to Tiger. Would you like to round up for the kids?
When you pay $50 a dozen for the Pro V1s, Tiger gets a cut of it.
Hey, live thoroughbred horse racing continues at Oaklawn through May 3rd. Visit oaklawn.com/racing for details and reservations and book your stay at the Forbes recommended Oaklawn Hotel. The next stakes race is what? The Arkansas Derby's almost here.
Week from Saturday.
On March 29th is the Arkansas Derby. Also, don't forget about the Oaklawn Sports app where you can download it. And new players earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets as you get ready for March Madness. We're going to have a bracket contest. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's going to be Beat Bart.
Really?
It's going to be a Beat Bart bracket contest. Yeah.
Bring it on.
You don't even qualify.
Bring it on.
The Schwam.
You can't qualify unless you beat Bart.
Bring it on.
Bart is very confident.
Is it Stump the Schwam? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Stump the Schwam.
By the way, Edward and Chuck didn't care anything about St. Patrick's Day.
The Schwab.
Schwab. I'm sorry.
You guys
I've got
had
green socks on.
I mean,
greenish.
Yeah, you went opposite. You
I
went
didn't even know
red.
it was St. Patrick's Day until
I didn't realize it.
You do have green actually on your hat too, accidentally.
Yep.
Chuck,
Green eyes.
Chuck did not care. He's got nothing.
I didn't know. I didn't. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it till I walked in, and Bart's like this green beacon over there, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's
as
Thanksgiving.
well read
Patrick's
as
Day.
you are in all the current events that you read about daily, there is zero chance that you didn't know today was St.
I
Patrick's
didn't think
Day.
about
You
it.
forgot.
I didn't think about it. Yes, I forgot.
You forgot.
That would be the more accurate way to say. Yes, I did notice today was St. Patrick's Day yesterday.
You thought it was yesterday.
But this
'cause
morning-
you went Irish dancing
Yeah,
all afternoon
that's
on
right.
Sunday, up and down Dixon
Yeah,
Street.
But when the alarm clock went off this morning, it didn't dawn on me. Did not dawn on me.
That was yesterday. I had a
Yeah.
great time.
I enjoyed my Sunday.
Let's have a car bomb and call it a week, shall we? Get ready for a trip to Providence. It's a drink.
I know it is.
Well, okay. Well, we're gonna
the Irish.
Let's meet this afternoon, and I'll get you one. We'll create our own Irish pub. Well, hey, they're dancing.
Sounds like a time.
Irish dancing
Let's
for
party.
St. Patrick's Day and dancing in March for the Razorbacks. Got a lot to get to this week. We'll do it again tomorrow at 6 a.m. The Chuck and Bo Show. Have a great day.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good.